Hi, this is Doris. Let's look at these gates. The 59, the gate of the captain, I call it, in my human design, and the gate 6, I call the captain's hat. Now, let's go over the 59 first, the captain. The captain. Sexual being. That sacral energy, it's out of the 59. That's where that drive goes to. Now, you can be either a male, like a pirate, or you could be a female, because the wolf could be either, both, if you have the 59. You do not have to touch with the power of the 59. Sometimes you just like to look. Now, the other side of the gate is the captain's hat in my stories. The captain's hat, you could be a male with a proper table manners and pull out the chairs and say hi to the crew, and he has everything down. Or you could be the female, proper, always making everybody happy. But either way, the gate 6 means you're proper. You have conflict if you see something that's not proper, because it's coming out of the 59, the gate of sexuality, so you like things to be okay with that, but it has to be proper. That's just the way it is. It's the way that we grew up with. Now, what's on my mind is that of all these tapes on YouTube, that tells me that a world is created in one instinct, that every instinct in life is the creation of now, and there's only now. And if that is true, from looking at my chart, where I have the 6 of the conflict, and I have everything else keeping into my guidelines, I do not have the sacral, nor do I have the 59. So when I hear stories and I read things about the seaman in the ship, and the port is the female, and it goes into that area to penetrate, and the stories of our history books that they want us to believe, that you are taught to believe these stories. Well, if the world was created now, in my time, this instinct, when I make this tape, I have the captain's hat. So with the power of the captain's hat, I can steer the ship in a different direction. Because even though I see a port, and I know the seaman wants to get to the port, the proper in me, and the 6, says there's a storm coming and it's not safe. Get out of that area to protect my boat, to save my ship, because I am a proper captain with the gate 6, and I've never landed at that port. So all those stories in the now of my life, that was energy that was not mine. So I did not create that. In this world, now I am not creating it. In the now time, somebody with the gate 6 would have seen that port was not a safe place and would have not ported there. The 59, the captain, and the 6, the captain's hat. In my world, I don't have the sacral, it up, or the 59. So that was not my energy that created anything that went to a port when there was a storm coming. I would have logically not went to that port. I would have rowed and steered the ship down to a port after the storm hit, because even though a vessel is at a port, it's still in danger of harm. And to be proper, and even though it's a conflict, I would leave that port, not even go, and I would go to the next port down, because just because something is not obvious doesn't mean it's not real. Like I told you earlier, I was outraged in Ohio when they were playing Mexican music in a store, because we have a lot of oil workers that came up, and they're Spanish, and my son, his last name is Sanchez, and I am a 6'2", and you know what a 2 is, tribal, and but I said, why are they playing Mexican music in Ohio to make? And the lady at the clerk says, well, you have something against the Spanish? And a bunch of prejudiced things come out of her mouth, comments of rudeness. And I looked at her like, is that the only viewpoint you see? My viewpoint is, they're going to hear that. They're going to go home, maybe on a weekend, and they're going to be homesick. You're playing with their mind. And guess who did it? It was a pharmaceutical company. Yes. Even though you think something doesn't look dangerous, if you are a true captain and you know how to steer your boat, you need to grab your helm, and you need to just turn it with faith to the way you belong. You have the helm. Turn it. And don't think that the most obvious is the best answer. Because if it's set up like that, it might be a trick. Know your storms. Know where you're at. And like me, I have the gate 6. I look for conflicts. And that's how I see my gate 6 working on my human design chart. Thank you.